Hey everyone. Before I jump right in, I want to share with you a dilemma I had in taping this message. Do I wear a tie? I haven't put one on in over 2 years and I've become very used to not wearing one. Not to mention, I was concerned I'd forgotten how to tie it. I decided to shake things up a little, take myself outside of what has become my comfort zone, and for the first time since COVID began, I put one on. After 5 attempts at getting it right, and almost resorting to a clip-on, I finally got it. This video is about 15 minutes, and I really hope you will give it a listen. We are long overdue in getting to this point, which I entirely acknowledge, one of the main reasons being COVID. In reference to the book you all received, Who Moved My Cheese?, COVID has and continues to move our cheese. I will take this opportunity to once again encourage you to read the book if you haven't already done so. It really is a light yet very insightful book. The purpose of this message is to provide you with an update and some high-level context regarding our ongoing transformation, Project Catapult, and to finally kick off the rollout of our newly established vision, mission, and values, which you have been hearing about for a while now. Over the last few years, I've become increasingly concerned that our existing strengths are not enough to ensure our continued success, and certainly not enough to elevate our results to the next level. There has been enormous change in the world on so many levels in the last 10 years, and relying on the status quo is not a formula for future success. In fact, by not transforming our company in notable ways, we most certainly will fall behind our competitors. With this concern in mind, a few years ago, we underwent a strategic review process with the help of PwC and validated that we in fact need to make progressive changes and modernize the company. In doing so, we have every intention of maintaining and building on the many strengths that have gotten us to this point, but we also have to take on new initiatives that will create a more future-looking Export Packers. Steadily and deliberately, we will make it happen. I'll put up a couple of slides that will help explain why we're doing this and to give you a sense of what the end result looks like. Why the transformation? As I mentioned in my opening comments, events are happening around us in greater frequency and complexity, many external and beyond our control. We need to be able to assess and react quickly to these events, to mitigate a negative situation or take advantage of an opportunity that presents itself. Past success doesn't ensure future success. As the saying goes, if you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards. Related to the first point, and in general, we need to embed innovation, continuous improvement, into our culture. We always need to be thinking, how can we do things better? Our ERP system, Navision, is now almost 20 years old, and technology has changed significantly since we implemented it. We need to catch up and equip ourselves with more current and robust system capabilities. What may have been a competitive advantage for us many years ago has in many instances become table stakes. We need to reestablish clear areas of differentiation between us and our competitors. From an overall perspective, our goal is to raise the bar and elevate our performance. What does the transformation look like? The future of EP. This slide summarizes what we are trying to do into 4 broad areas. Firstly, differentiated customer experience. We've always prided ourselves on customer service and generally do a very good job at it. But that said, we want to be innovative, utilize technology, and create a truly differentiated customer experience. Best practices. For the most part, our processes have remained largely unchanged for many years. It's time we revisit them and implement best practices which will lead us to become more efficient, support overall operational excellence, and enable better decisions. Market intelligence, data analytics. I envision taking the extensive knowledge that we have amongst our many experienced employees, combining that with both internal and external data, supported by new technology, and create a more structured and sophisticated way to analyze information. Finally, employee experience. Employees are the core of who we are. We want you to become more engaged, your personal objectives aligned with broader corporate objectives, and implement an improved performance management process. Now some discussion on vision, mission, and values. To help support and guide the transformation, a clearly defined and understood vision, mission, and values will create a foundation for consistent aligned direction and also provide us with guiding principles. In this kickoff segment, my focus is more on mission and vision. I will only briefly touch on values. There will be a deeper dive into our values over the next 8 weeks, as laid out in the emails previously sent by Lisa and Brian. A few general comments about what mission and vision are and why they're important. First, what is a mission statement and why even have one? Mission is the why. It describes our present. A mission statement speaks to why we exist, what we do, and how we do it, our purpose. It provides alignment to the organization and helps ensure we are all pulling in the same direction. Without being clear about what our mission is, we can't work towards our desired future state, which is our vision. That brings us to our vision, which is the what. It describes our desired future. A vision statement is aspirational, what we are ultimately striving for, our dream. It articulates long-term goals and helps guide the strategy to achieve those goals. If our major initiatives don't ultimately support our strategic vision, then we shouldn't be doing them. It can act as a guide in helping resolve strategic challenges and conflicts. With that said, let's look specifically at our newly established mission and vision. I'll start with our mission. Again, the why, our present. To serve as trusted partners within the food industry by leveraging our relationships and extensive product and market knowledge. To deliver resilient, transparent, and efficient global supply chain capabilities, and to provide our partners with an outstanding experience in each and every interaction. The key element of the first bullet is trust, which builds and supports our relationships with our customers and suppliers as a result of our extensive product and market knowledge. Referring to the second bullet, if we didn't realize it before, this past year with absolute certainty has showed us how vital supply chain is to our business. We shouldn't look at it as a basic necessity, but rather as a way to create a competitive advantage. The third bullet, servicing our customers, and in some cases key suppliers, has always been and will continue to be a key area of importance and focus for us. Now our vision, which again is the what, our aspired future. To utilize industry-leading expertise and provide our partners in the global food ecosystem with access to the most diverse assortment of food products and markets. I'll comment on the key aspects of this statement. First is the desire to take our overall extensive knowledge in many different parts of the business, elevate that to the next level, and turn it into what we can consider to be expertise in the true definition of the word. Many of our competitors can lay claim to having extensive knowledge. I don't think many can lay claim to being experts. The word ecosystem may be a little confusing, but what it's meant to conceptualize is that we touch on many different aspects of the food industry: products, geographic markets, customer segments, and services we provide. Based on this, we want to be open to finding new ways to create a value proposition. The last part of the sentence, most diverse assortment of food products and markets, is about ultimately growing our business in areas we are underrepresented or where we don't do business at all, be it customers, suppliers, parts of the world, or products. I'll make just a few brief comments about our values. I'm not going to talk about each of the values specifically. That will happen over the next 2 months. But what I will say is they have been carefully chosen to include a mix of values that are already core and have been important in our past success, and some values that are more aspirational and it will be important in supporting our transformation. I'll let you decide, when you better understand each of the values, which ones are core and which ones are aspirational. But eventually, they all need to become core. For this rollout and change process to be successful, I have some expectations of everyone. I hope you all feel they are very reasonable. First, be open-minded, supportive, and really try to embrace the rollout plan. Get to know your rollout team members. Second, make an effort to start living the values and winning behaviors as soon as you learn more about them. And finally, don't be afraid to ask questions. Be curious and engaged. There are no dumb questions. At times, you may feel a little outside of your comfort zone. Try not to be discouraged. It's totally okay. In fact, it's expected to some degree for all of us, including me. Recognize that you're not alone, and change can sometimes make things feel worse before it gets better. Let me wrap up with some closing remarks. There is no doubt that over the next few years, we will be taking on a significant amount of change. What can make us uneasy about change is not necessarily change itself, but rather understanding why there is a need for change and what it will look like. To this point, I want all of you to have a voice, and as much as we will be informing you along the way, you are encouraged to speak up. Talk to your colleagues, your manager, again, engage and ask questions. A big part of our overall transformation, which you will start hearing more about soon, is the implementation of a new computer system, the replacement of Navision. This, in of itself, is a huge undertaking, and if for no other reason, having clearly defined and understood vision, mission, and values will help support the successful implementation of this new ERP system. It will be critically important to our overall business transformation. What we are taking on is no doubt very significant, but it's by no means radical. The company, in a lot of ways, will still be what we know it to be, just better, more focused and flexible, and allow us to elevate our performance to the next level. Our values and winning behaviors will be an extremely important foundation in making this happen. We will make some mistakes along the way. This is totally expected. What will be really important is that we identify them quickly and course correct accordingly. With that said, I want to thank you for your support and resilience throughout these last 2 very crazy years in particular. And I'll take the liberty to thank you in advance for your openness to support and embrace the next chapter. We can only be successful if everyone, not just a few people, lean in and play their part. One last comment. Let's have some fun along the way, starting with this week's team icebreaker and scavenger hunt activity. Are we done yet? Can I take this off?